Hello and welcome to part D of the third episode of Ukulele Jam Kit. Today we're going to be working on a riff that's inspired by the tune Bodysurfing. We're going to be using the concepts that we learned in parts A, B, and C. So check them out in the description down below if you haven't already. But let's go ahead and dive into this riff. Now this is very much like the riff from Bodysurfing. And it's sort of funny because we're playing it in the key of A minor, but thanks to our relative major of C, we're going to be playing it using our C major scale. So if you don't know how to play the C major scale, check that out. That's going to be in episode 3B, where you can learn how to play that. But using this scale, we're going to play this whole riff, which is pretty great. Let's go ahead and look at it. This is what it looks like tabbed out. So the first part here is we're going to play 3 on the A, and we're going to use our ring finger to play this. And then we're going to play the open E. Then we're going to play the open A, then 2 on the A with our middle finger, and then 3 on the A again, and then open on the E again, then open on the A, and then 3 on the A. So that whole thing is just running eighth notes all the way through. If we want to count this, it's something like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Pretty great to be able to count because it's all the same in terms of their note values. This also makes it a little bit more difficult to play fast because of its running nature. But you'll notice right now we're just using 1 finger per fret to play that. But then when we go to the G chord, this second part, it actually gets a little bit more interesting. We're going to start by playing the 2 on the A string with our middle finger. But the next note's the 2 on the C string, which if we're following that 1 finger per fret, we should be jumping our finger up, but that's not very efficient, right? So what we're going to do instead is take our index finger and place it on 2 of the C string. And what's really fun about this is the next note after that's 3 on the E. And we can actually just build a G chord, which is essentially what's being played here. And then you'll notice the next note after that 3 on the E is the open A, so we just take our middle finger back off. Then we place it back on. Play the 2 on the C, and then the 3 on the E, and then the 2 on the A for the very last note, which is already there in the G chord. So that second measure is all right in there, which is pretty great. The third measure here, we're going to go to the F add 9. We're going to play our open A string to start, and then the open C string. Then we're going to play 1 on the E string, then 3 on the E string, then the open A string, then the open C string, the 1 on the E, and the open A string. So you'll notice that that is pretty much just building the F add 9 chord, adding that 3 on the E in there in the middle, but otherwise maintaining that sort of voicing. Now, the final measure of this, we're going to play a G sharp note, which is 4 on the E string, which is not part of our A minor or our C major. And I'm not going to go too deep into the theory with this right now, but essentially what this note is, this G sharp, is the leading tone of A. And what this role of this note is to create tension. And when you hear it, it really does create tension because it wants to go to the A minor. But we're not going to do that. We want to continue the tension by then playing an F, the 1 on the E string, and then open on the E. So that last bar is 4 with the pinky on the E string, 1 on the E, and then open on the E. So we have 4, 1, 0 for that end. So let's go ahead and play this all the way through really slowly, and we'll actually count it through. I'm going to count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and for each one of these bars so that you can hear how it will go together. Should sound something like this. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and. Pretty neat, right? So now that we've done it nice and slow, let's go ahead and try this with the jam track. Now, before we do this, I do recommend trying to get this comfortable because when we go along with the jam track, it will be faster. And just a quick tip, when you're on YouTube, if you look at the little gear button, if you're playing this on a computer, you can actually click it and change the speed of this recording. So if you're playing along with the Jam Kit and you find it way too fast, you can actually change the speed to 50% or 75% to make it a little bit easier. But now let's go ahead and hear what it sounds like with the full jam track, something like this. And there you have it, a body surfing inspired track that you can jam out to. If you'd like to download the tab of this riff, as well as that backing track that we were just playing along with, be sure to check out my Patreon page. It's really thanks to my patrons I'm able to create this content in this series. In addition to the Ukulele Jam Kit, every month I do a different song tutorial that's based on suggestions of my patrons. We do a vote on different tunes and it's a lot of fun. Every month is a different tune and I really don't know what we're going to be working on until I start getting the suggestions from people, and it makes it a really, really cool time. So if you're interested in that, please do check out my page in the description below. In addition, if you enjoyed this video and like this series, please give this video a like and subscribe to my page so that you don't miss an episode. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys next month for the next episode of Ukulele Jam Kit. Thanks so much.